Hi guys, I've just been doing a very long, probably very boring teardown video of a gas hob. Not this one, this is ours. The one I did a teardown on was our friends that they've just had replaced, and I'll be taking it to the recycling centre to dump it. But before I took it there, I thought I'd do a teardown, have a look if there was anything interesting inside. Got a bit carried away, took much too long over it. Battery died on my phone recording it. And that probably means I've got no audio on it. I'm probably going to have to do a voiceover because my wireless microphone switches itself off when the battery gets low on the camera. So I'll probably put this at the front of it just so people know there's something interesting in it, or may even make this a separate video. Okay, so I took it apart. What we have here is the actual, we'll call it an off switch. It's the valve. You push it in, it starts the ignition going, and you turn it to let the gas flow. And you can't turn it without pushing it in. There's a little latch in there that detects that you've pushed it in and you can turn it. The other thing is, if it doesn't ignite properly, if you let go of it, it turns itself off again. It probably won't work on this one because I've tested it and it's warmed up and everything's right. But push it down, you can probably hear the clicking. That's the ignition spark. And then turn it, it lights up. Yeah, and it's staying alight now. Yeah, it's going to work every time now. I don't know if one of the other ones... Ah, right. You might have seen that one went out again as soon as I released it. So, clicking, turn it, and it went out again when I took my finger off it. Even though the valve is still apparently open over here, there's no gas flowing. In, ignition, and it's staying on. And that's the bit that I found was interesting. So, this is the valve. Let's try and get in close. Okay, in the back of that one, you can see there's something sticking up, which when I push this in, you can see it moving. What you can't really see is that's actually pushing this way to push a little valve open. And that lets the gas start flowing. And then as you turn that, that opens the valve in there and lets the gas come out of this one. Gas goes in there, out of here. But it can't go out of here till it's been round there. Okay, why is that interesting? This bit, which you can't see here, and if I touch that, it's probably still hot. Not too hot. Okay, just there is the sparky bit, which ignites the gas, and just there is one of these. It's I'll call it a thermocouple because I don't know any better. I don't know what its correct name is. But when it gets hot, it generates electricity. At this end, oh yeah, two wires go into it. Nice thick copper wires. That one's not insulated, that one is. Heat on that generates electricity. In there, see if we can get that in focus. Right, you can just see there's coils in there. Two coils, and I assume that's some sort of U-shaped metal object. Go back to normal. So when that heats up and sends electricity through the conductors, electricity going through the coils there creates a magnet, or creates a magnetic field. That valve, which is pushed, as we push that in, so that valve is pushed open like that, And if we stop pushing, it springs back again. But if we heat this up, let's see if we can demonstrate without burning our fingers. Right, nothing obvious is happening at the moment. Oh, it works straight away. Right, move it out with the heat. Let it cool down. Come on, cool down, please. Yeah, just as I moved it out of the way, it popped up again. So, at the moment, that moves up and down easily. Heat that up, creates a magnet, and it stays in place. So that's how it knows whether to allow the gas to flow or not. If it's got a successful flame, that heating up keeps the valve open. When it cools down, it springs. Oh, I just moved off the screen again, didn't I? Let's try and keep it in the middle of the picture. Right. Moves up and down freely, warm it up, stays in place, it's magnetic. Let it cool down. There we go, pops up again. So that's why that stays on, because we've got a good flame. That one over there may have cooled down again enough. On, off. Hold it in for a bit longer so it warms that bit up. No, not long enough. Stays. Yeah. That was the most interesting thing about the teardown. So I'll put that at the front of the video. And as I say, probably do a separate video just to have that bit on it. And then you can watch the rest of the video, which I've no idea how long it goes on for. Probably an hour or something like that. I've just taken it all apart, see what bits I could salvage from it. There's some aluminium pipes. There's a little bit of electronics. There's obviously the thing that makes the spark, but it's mains powered, so that probably won't be any use to me because I don't like using mains power. But it obviously generates a spark. There's a few wires in there. It was a 5-ring burner, so there's 5 of these valves. And that's about it. Not a lot really exciting in there. So I've probably stopped you watching the video now. Hi guys. One of our friends have just had their gas hob replaced. You'll see the sign on it. The gas board had decided it was unsafe. So they've replaced it. And I have the old one here. It's on its way to the recycling centre, but I just thought I'd take it apart, see if there's anything interesting in it. The brand name is Lamona, and we're filming this upside down, and I'll flip it over in editing, just so that I don't get my head in the way while we're taking it apart. Well, that's the theory anyway. So, yeah, do not use. So that can go in the bin. Probably should have put gloves on, to be honest. I can't think of any use for these. I mean, if you happen to have the same model and you've broken yours somehow, then it might be useful as a replacement. One of my rubber band powered cars, I think I did one of them using the, whatever we call these bits, as wheels. That was a few years ago. Oh, I think it was one that was an underwater one. We needed the weight. That's from one of our other cookers. I think these are cast iron. And I assume these are some sort of aluminium alloy. Which, if you're one of these people who melts down aluminium and casts your own items, that might be useful. It's got a bit of steel on the bottom of it. But yeah, I should think they're aluminium of some sort. Or alloy of some sort. Because they're quite light. Knobs just pull off. Got a couple of screws in there. I was trying to think if there was anything I could do with this stainless steel. Might get another screwdriver. Okay, plastic. Oh, could I make a wheel? Use that as a rubber tire. Potentially. Oh. I probably ought to separate plastic and metal, shouldn't I? I need a smaller screwdriver still. I'm just looking. These are those star drive bolts, which I have somewhere. Back again in a minute. I guess I'll speed up some of this in editing. Right, yeah, we might as well undo these while we're this way up. Right, that's this side done. Potentially I could use those as wheels, tyres. I can't be bothered. Right, next. In the bottom of these, there's little brass nozzles. Brass might be worth collecting. Cool. They're done up tight. Yeah, can't move it. Gosh. Nope, can't move it. Need to put a proper socket set on there. So we'll leave that for now. Right. That's the power for the spark ignition. All around the edge here, it had got a sealant, which to me seems very much like that blue tack that I use on nearly everything. But yeah, that was all the way around the edges. I pulled that off and stuck it together. There's still some around there. So that's interesting. I'll save it. I don't know what I can use it for, but I'll save it. There's some clip under there holding it. Right. Screw, screw, screw. Yeah, quite a few screws. There's a clip under there. Slide that forwards. Right. Okay. That's that sticky goo holding it together. That is interesting stuff. Clearly it never sets solid, just like blue tack. So, steel tray. These look like wires that have got copper skin to them, or whether they're actually copper wires. Well, that one looks a bit funny. I would say that was a thermostat. Pure guess. Because I'm not a gas engineer. But this is the spark, which will be generated by this fella, which is what I was interested in. So I expect there's something in there that will generate sparks for us. Right. I'm sure there will be gas engineers who will watch this video and want to give me plenty of advice. Always welcome. All comments help the YouTube algorithm. This feels like aluminium pipe. That might be useful. I did a whole load of pop boats with aluminium pipe. Thinner than this. But that's an interesting thought. Pop boats. Oh, I need a big spanners. Yeah. Right. So that's our sparky bit. Igniter. That's some sort of spring clip holds that in place from the looks of it. Let me get that out. Need a different Pair of pliers to clip. Oh, I've done it with my fingers. So yeah, that's our igniter, which just sparks to earth. Yeah, well, that might be interesting. So we've got a few of them. Yeah, might have to Google that, find out what it is, but as I say, it's got to generate a spark for us. So that's our incoming gas feed. Steel, or ferrous anyway. Ferrous. These are all linked together. So the valve, you push and turn. Push activates the sparky bit, and then turns on the gas. And that's some sort of regulator. So I say, that appears to be a bit of aluminium pipe. Right, so there's that harness, which is just a little push switch. Right, I've just realised this is it doesn't matter which one you press, it's going to start them all sparking at the same time. Which, yeah, I remember that's how it works. So whichever one of the dials you push down on, these are all paralleled up together. So they will start the sparky thing going. Right, if we choose one we haven't touched yet. So at this end, that's the bit that sparks to ignite the gas. And that, as I keep saying, I think is a thermostat or a thermocouple. It checks how hot it is. And at this end of that thermostat thing, we've got something that I think acts as a shut-off valve. I think. So I'm guessing a bit. If we can get that apart, I think it pushes something up there, which has just fallen out there. I think it pushes that way to shut this off, I reckon. So if we can get this one apart. Right. There we are. So how does that actually work? Not going to know. Not without putting some heat or power on it. Could always Google it. But yeah, that's got to be pushing that. That's up in there. And then that bit there is pushed by the end of that. And that was sitting on top of there to hold it in place. But how would that actually stop the gas flow? Unless another bit's popped out while I've taken it apart. We'll take another one apart and have a look. Oh, hang on. Yeah. That bit there we push in, don't we? Right, let's take another one apart so we can have a look. That one. Right, that goes in there. Pushes that. So you push that. And as you're pushing that, that other end of it is pushing up against that one. So that would be in there. So push that. And that would be pushing against there. Okay, so we've got some bits of brass and some aluminium tubing and some stainless steel, which I shall bag up as best I can, and then most of it will be going to the recycling centre. Yeah, I think that's about it. I think we've done all we can. Apologies if I haven't covered something you really wanted to know, but I wasn't doing this from a knowledge point of view. As in, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just taking it apart before it goes to the recycling centre. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave us a comment so I know how I'm doing. And somewhere up here there'll be some links to related playlists. Thanks again.